Welcome to the Wally Show, Aftercast, all the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today.
We're back.
Yeah, like Betty said, the award-losing podcast in her post about that. So we were at a radio convention to up for an award for best podcast, which the funny thing is, like our podcast, if you could put all the other podcasts that we were up against, we have more downloads than all of them put together. But apparently that just does not matter in this industry. And so it's a weird award. Like every year, they're like, it's the best radio podcast. And so you have like shows
Christian,
like ours.
It's Christian rate. It's. I think when they think Christian, they really lean into the Christian part.
Sure. And then they want all of us knuckleheads to put our whatever,
best foot
nomination or
nominate, put audio towards it, a submission. There you go. Yeah, and so they want us to subscribe to it. So I did not want to this year because what happens is they say we want a radio show's podcast, like what we do right here after the show every day, but they don't. Every year, some really big, full-blown produced podcast wins. The one that they have, a bunch of people working on. They spend 4 months to make it. They spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every year on these things, and that's what keeps winning. And it's like, well, just have its own category for that. Let that be a thing. I'm not saying bad things about that. That's fine. Make it a produced podcast. But that's not what they're saying it is. It's like a bunch of radio people. So all of us radio people that are in it, like ourselves, another show that is on our sister station, KSBJ, their podcast, their morning show's podcast was up, so we were competing against each other, and neither one of us won, which is the best case scenario for my soul.
Because you both can't be winners.
Yeah.
And you definitely can both be losers.
Yeah, and I've been up for this now Betty, Gavin, and I, 3 years. This is the third year in a row. So next year, if we get a nomination, I'm not going to accept it.
I think that's a worthwhile path to pursue.
Or should I? Because then if you just never win, it's funny too. Like
the always award.
Kind of like the Susan Lucci of podcasts, and so
how many years has it been that we've lost?
3. This is our third year in a row.
Okay.
Going in this year, because you went in with the kind of hesitancy of submitting, was it easier to lose this year than in the past?
Because I care way less about
knowing that you're like, I know what they're looking for. They're looking for something more serious.
If it had gone to another radio show, like podcast that does what we do, then I would take that really hard, because ours is like, for whatever reason, is wicked successful.
It's not a popularity contest.
Yeah, and so I would be bummed that it wouldn't win, but the fact that it went to something that's completely outside of what we do, I can justify that and going, they just don't know what they're doing at the thing. They don't. And so, but then I was told, by people in our company, they're like, hey, I know you didn't want to submit, but we're really glad that you did.
Nice of them.
Because, it's a good look for the ministry and stuff. So that's fine. So anyway, but we had a good time. Betty looked fabulous.
Thank you.
I wish we had won just so we could walk you up on stage.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were asking me, if you won, what are you going to say, on stage? And I remember you had told me that last year when you and Gavin went, you were going to say, I wish Betty could have made it, but she just got out of rehab, or she's in rehab.
And then I was going to say, like for her knee, she hurt her knee or something, and oh, what's wrong with you people?
So I was thinking, I would get up there and I'd be like, and let's give a round of applause to Wally, because despite his hair plugs bleeding the day before.
Hey, what is that?
He would have been there.
Made it
I'm glad
here.
we didn't. I was going to take Gavin out. Holy cow.
I'm in the bathroom
Yeah,
or something.
of course. Absolutely.
Good times.
Yeah.
But another good thing is Marty was there, your wife, because...
Oh, man. She was.
I'm glad she was.
Good or a bad?
It was good. It was really good, because I had so many people that pulled me to the side and they were like, how do you do it? And I was like, by the grace of God.
Yeah.
But it is a two-person job.
2 angels on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Right. And so me and Marty were sandwiching him during the ceremony, and I even told him, I said, prepare your heart.
Yeah.
Because there's a good chance we won't get called up there.
I prayed that evening.
Did you?
I was in that zone of me. I knew when it would be happening.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and then I saw the news. I'm like, I figured the prayer was needed.
Well, because then I just react when I hear things, and so then they said something about the podcast that won, and I was like, oh Lord. Like, because I could not believe it. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I don't know why you feel the
need to have to voice your opinion out loud.
Because that's what I do for a living.
You're not, though, on the radio, so no one needs to know it.
But I'm in a room full of radio people.
Yeah, but
by association.
It doesn't look good.
We're all that way. Like, most of us, yeah. Most of us old school guys are that way.
Aside from that, what did you guys appreciate most about being out there? Whether it was music, speaker.
I liked the hotel.
Yeah,
the hotel.
That one's nice. I liked that one last year.
Nice,
and
I got a pizza. Ooh, that pizza was good. It's like the pizza from the Goofy movie.
Oh, the stretch on that cheese.
Betty Rock ordered something to room service once and never got it, so that was like unfortunate.
Don't charge me.
Did you lose money on that, or was it like
they didn't charge me for it?
Okay, good.
Because they claim they never got my order, but I think they're lying.
Yeah, no, it was a good event. I always like to go and see people that I haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah,
and it's weird. Like my first day in, I was a little jaded. My first day in, like going there and getting around all the Christian broadcasters and stuff, because there are some super well-intentioned people and really kind people, but it's a little on the cheesy side, and a lot of it. And so there's that part of me that's like, I don't want to be associated with that. But then like I started talking to people and people were so nice. It's really funny. I was telling Betty, because like somebody came up, another jock, and wanted to take a picture with us. And I'm cool. Like, that's what you want. You want to be that show that other people want to be. And then I realized that I have a responsibility in that. Like, if people see us that way, because people do, they see our show as something that they would like to be able to do or have the freedom to do, that we can do a lot of things that maybe they can't. And so like for me, it was really good. I got to spend time like and talking with people, and I had to host a lunch one time with other talent. And so I was kind of basically doing a talent coaching session for them, fun. And trying to help them. They were asking me questions and stuff. So I really did enjoy that. Like I leaned into it, and I enjoyed it after like the first day. But it was good altogether. It was good. And I would go again next year, I guess, because it's good. I went down early too. Because I went and saw my family. We went to Disney. We went to the good parks. And like, because Universal and Disney are very different. Man.
I love Universal.
Do you? They're better rides at Universal.
It was our honeymoon, and it's got the Harry Potter stuff. That's my jam.
Yeah. Oh, that Haggart's motorcycle roller coaster ride is fantastic.
That had just come out last year when we rode it, and that was good.
Yeah,
that was better than the Velocicoaster for me.
We took him on Velocicoaster last year, and he threw up in his mouth twice.
In the line. Yeah,
in the line. Just getting on.
Yeah, it was.
That's okay.
But you did it. And now,
I found.
Will you go do it again?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would, but I know that I'm terrified, because we went to Dollywood with some friends.
Yeah.
And my friend's 7-year-old daughter's she's like, Gavin, can you ride the one of those, the swings back and forth?
Oh yeah,
where you're like kind of looking at the ground.
Those put your stomach in your throat.
And I was with her. She's on there, woo, and I'm like,
I love those.
And then my grandpa's over there like holding his dentures in.
Dollywood has a wooden roller coaster. Like if you love wooden roller coasters, it's great, but it rattles your teeth out of your head.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't like those anymore.
No.
I like the smooth roller coasters.
0 to 90 is a lot better than 50 miles an hour of pain.
Zach and I, old producer Zach and I, we were so excited because we were with his daughter and his wife and my wife, and it was like she wanted to do all the stuff in Toontown, and he's such a good dad. Like he's such a good dad because he's like, hey, baby, I know this is our time. Daddy'd like to go ride the roller coaster with Mr. Wally. If we did that real quick, is that okay with you? And she's like, okay. And so I'm like, what if she had said no? Would you have not gone? Like 10.
She's older.
Yeah, she's 10. Yeah. He's letting her call the shots. Like, don't do that. And so we ran over there because it was like a 20-minute wait time. So we fly over there. We run in there. You have to take your wallet keys, everything out of your pockets because it goes upside down.
So annoying.
And so Zach goes, what if you don't do that? Like, how do they know what's in your pocket? You get up to a certain point in the line and they wand you to make sure you don't have anything. Dang. So you have to put everything in a locker. So we're all excited. We're like two nerdy kids getting ready to ride this thing. We go over there and there was a locker that was like swung open. So we just shove our stuff in it, close it. We're like, yeah. And then I'm like, well, wait, how do we get our stuff out? And then I start reading. I should have read first, but it was like use your park ticket to get an access code. Well, the park ticket's in my wallet, which I just shoved in the thing and closed, and then my phone is in there, so I can't call my wife.
Also, what if you lose your park ticket as you're upside down on the ride? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so
you can't put it in your wallet.
Well, as it turns out, like I walked over to the guy at the thing and I said, hey, dude, I am so sorry. I'm going to be that guest today that's just a giant pain for you. And I apologize. I hate me right now. I didn't read what I was supposed to do and my stuff's in a locker. I don't know how to get it out. And he was so kind. He's like, it's not a big deal. When you get off the ride, go find one of the people that's working in that thing and they can let you in. And so they just punch in a code and they ask you what's in the thing and for an ID. Oh, nice. And then you're on your way.
Take your picture and tell everybody he's not allowed on this ride
This
anymore.
idiot.
This is the idiot wall. Let
Close
me take your picture.
Close the thing, ask for a tip.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Put their hand out for the $5.
Yeah, it probably would have been worth it. There's a guy at the airport, there's a guy at the airport that puts bags on the shuttle bus when you get back and you're getting ready to go to your car. This guy has been there, has to be 15 years that I've been here. You know, like maybe 10 that I've seen him. And he's always so nice. And it's funny because I see him, I mean, how many times a year? A handful of times a year. And like he always recognizes me. Oh, cool. And he's always like, hey, sir, how you doing? Like kind of like my McDonald's lady. And he's always so nice. I always tip him. Because
that's why he's like,
maybe that's why. Yeah, but he's another one of those people that's always just joyful in his job, in a job that you could think it would be mundane or not worth it, you know, and he's always joyful, whether you tip him or not. Like, that's the thing. Other people in the line, no one tipped him, but he's always kind, and he's just smiling. I love that about people. And it did remind me, too, like, we get to do one of the best jobs on the planet. And I know that I get frustrated with things and business things and work, like meetings.
You just did 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm just processing. Right. But at the end of the day, I still love what I do, you know, and it's the business stuff around it that's not fun. But getting to come in and do this every day is a joy, you know, and as long as I remember that, I maybe got a couple more years in me till I implode. So anyway,
that's a great perspective.
Yeah, thank you. I had a real cool moment with Mike from Big Daddy Weave too, where he pulled me aside and it was like super deep and honest. And I'm like, is this what therapy is like?
No.
Yeah.
Did he seek you out to tell you something?
Yeah, he said, you're a mess, dude. No, I'm just kidding. No, he had shared something from the stage.
You know, he's been through a lot of loss. Like, he lost his brother. He lost...
It's like at the beginning of
a parent, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But he's been through a lot. And so he was talking about up on stage, they're singing their new songs that they're about to release. But he said they went through the darkest time of his life and talking about how God pulled him out of it. But then,
and he had nothing to give. He was like, I'm up here singing, but I have nothing for these people.
Right. And so at the end, as he's walking off stage, he said, hey, I'll be in the back, you know, come and find me. I'd love to pray for you. And then Wally gets up and he goes back there to look for him. But I think Wally, he only hears certain things. And so he didn't hear that part, I don't believe. He went back there to get
the pickleball paddle sign.
To sign this pickleball paddle to give to an employee. And then because he had found what's-his-face back there, he was like, hey, can I pray for you about something?
No, that's not how it happened at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
where did I get it wrong? What part?
I did hear what he had said.
Oh, you did?
I did. I heard all that. And then I was going back to get the paddle sign. That's accurate because I was trying to do something nice for a lady that checked us in. She was so kind. And so I was like, okay, she mentioned all these bands she liked. And so I was getting everybody that I could find there to sign it. And I was going to give it to her just at the end of the day, which I did. She was so sweet. And she was like, this is a blessing. And it was just really nice. And I got to like talk her up in front of her boss, which was good for her too.
Yeah.
So no, I went back there and I heard that because what he said really landed with me. And so I go back and I'm actually waiting in line to talk with him. There's like 4 people in front of me, and usually I won't do that. I'll just say, hey, and so I'm waiting in line, and I'm debating jumping out and stuff, and then he looks at me past everybody. He's like, dude. He always goes, dude, man, dude.
He's got that slight
surfer thing, and he's so great. But he's like, dude. He's like, I can't believe. What are you waiting there for? I'm like, it's fine. And so he goes through all these people, and he was so kind to me because we're just standing out in the middle of this lobby thing. He goes, hey, let's go over here and talk. And so we go off into this little side area, and we're sitting there talking. And I was saying, hey, I really appreciated what you shared today because it was just really cool. It landed with me. And he's like, yeah. He's like, is there any way I can pray for you? You good? Everything good? I'm like, no, I'm good. Everything's fine.
So you had to know he was going to ask you that question because he had said what. So you had to have an answer prepared, and that's what you had prepared.
So my prepared was my default was like, yeah, I'm good. Everything's good. And then it was weird because I was like, and we kind of were still talking about other things. And I said, you know what, dude? I said, I'm not good. I'm not good at all. And he's like, what's going on? I said, man, I am legit kind of dead inside. And I don't have anything for people right now. Yet I have to keep coming in every day and doing this. And I just don't have it. I'm good at faking it. I'm good at doing it. I'm good at my job, but I don't have it. And I started I had to wipe my eyes and stuff. And I was like choking up. And he's like, I'm going to pray for you. And he's like, this is going to be weird. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm like, you're right. That is weird.
And he did?
He did. And he just prayed all over me,
That's awesome.
And it was funny because he goes, you know what, man? He says, when I was at that place, Ben Fuller, we were on tour, walked up to me, and he just hugged me, and he didn't let go, even past the point where it was uncomfortable.
Praise God.
Yeah, praise God. And he goes, you know what? He goes, there was something about that. He goes, it was almost like how I used to hug people that were going through stuff when I know they needed something, but they didn't know what it was. And he's like, that's what Ben did for me, And then he goes, take your phone out. I'm going to give you my number. He's like, whatever you need. He's like, you call me anytime. He's like, if you just want to text me, hey, need prayer. He's like, and I'll do it. I'm like, holy cow. It was just.
It's really genuine.
Yeah, that's a great word for it because that's the kind of guy that he is, And he's not the big flashy guy that gets all the notoriety, but he's the guy that loves people well, not only and beyond fans. He's the guy that loves people well that are in the industry and things like that. Because and then I was talking to other people and they're like, oh yeah, I met Mike, a couple years ago, and he was so kind and prayed with me and stuff. And you're like, man, what a great legacy that guy's gonna leave.
It's a cool example of someone letting God use a terrible situation from their past bless someone in the future.
Yeah,
because obviously, if he could rewrite the story of his brother or any of the loss, I'll 100% take it away.
Right.
But he has that opportunity to understand your position of not having it inside every day.
Are you going to call or text him?
Oh yeah, I will. I need to just tell him thank you, first of all. But yeah, I think that it was a really good moment, and I walked away from there feeling a little bit better. What?
So the next time someone offers to lay hands on you?
No.
Or
that
hold
part,
your hand.
No, that part was
then,
so much.
I'm going to need a hug
what came
after this.
of it?
We could have done it without that.
Oh
would have had the same effect. But yeah, so we're going to talk. I'm still trying to figure out how to turn this into a topic for the show. But it's funny because I haven't figured it out fully yet. But and it's not that I care about sharing anything on the radio because I'm kind of an open book. But on the air today, I had said something if you've listened to the other podcast, I'm like, oh, I shared something with my daughter and she started crying. That's what it was. We were at breakfast.
Oh, you told her
I went to breakfast with them and I was telling her this story. And when I said, and I said, yeah, and I told him I'm just kind of dead inside. and she just looks at me and her little eyes welled up and she just started crying.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
You're not necessarily prepared to hear your parents say
I guess
that.
not.
Well,
yeah.
if she said that to you, that would break you.
Oh, yeah, it would break my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So it's a good vice versa.
Yeah. And so, like, she has just such a tender heart.
Yeah. And your wife is like,
Yeah.
What would your reaction be?
You think you're dead. What have you done to me these years?
It's like, I get it, Dad.
Welcome to the Dead Inside Club. So anyway, that was a little bit of my weekend that I didn't see coming from Momentum, and so it was really nice. Plus, KB spoke. That dude
awesome.
Brings church, man. Holy moly.
He was so good.
He's a Christian rapper, which he's great at. You know, he's one of the better ones. But beyond that, like when he speaks, you listen. And he's really good at having a bunch of catchphrases in something when you're writing notes down. Like, you know, don't let the thing use you, you use it. You know, he's really good at that turn of phrase. But I think that comes from like what he does for a living as a rapper too.
Maybe.
But boy, howdy, it was really good. Was there anything that you walked away from there, Rock, like somebody that spoke? That
KB was awesome. Yeah. And there was a class that I went to that was for on-air talent, and they gave you some tips on like things that I thought some of it was really good.
I went to one of those the next day. It was an on-air one, and I sat next to the other most jaded person in Christian radio next to me.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Skip.
Nice.
Yeah, he used to work for K-Love,
Surly.
and he doesn't work at K-Love anymore. I'm not even 100% sure what happened, but now he's at Cincinnati with Pillar. Yeah. But I love the guy. He is such a surly, jaded cuss. But even he was happier. He's in a better place for him.
Oh, good.
Because Caleb was not a good place for him. And he's in a better place. Like, I know the owner of that company, and that guy's vibe is just, it's fun, it's good, it's forgiving, he's just as much a mess as everybody else, and he admits it. Like, it's a good, healthy environment. As I could totally work there, like, and I would fit in there. Because I've always said there's no other place in Christian radio that I could go. But I actually, after like spending time with Art at Momentum, I actually think I could go. Like, I think they would hire me. I think they're the only ones other than Way FM that would hire me. But
it's a nice niche because you have like big and corporate-y.
Yeah.
And then you have very Christian-y.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes harder to listen to.
Yeah.
For us, and then having that nice blend.
Having a couple places that will buck the system a little bit. Is nice, but yeah, but sitting next to him when we were in this one, and it was bad because it was really rudimentary radio, and like, he's got a million years in, I've got a million years in. There's a lot of things we know that are just because we've done it.
It's less to learn and more to just be.
I could have taught it, you know, basically, or he could have taught that class easily. But it was funny because you're like trying not to snicker at things, and then the questions that come
Probably
after.
wasn't good that y'all sat together.
Just like how you read the comments of posts, like sitting through the Q&A for me is the comment section because it's wonderfully painful. So that was good. But anyhow, then the best section. This is so inside. I'm sorry, but the best one was they had a speaker on AI. And I'm like, oh, I want to hear this. I want to hear what people are thinking, doing. How are they using it? And he's like, AI is very powerful. You should be using it. And that was it, basically, for 20 minutes. He said nothing and no advice, no go over here, try this, here's a great service. It was just, and as an old guy doing a thing about AI, and it just didn't fit.
I will say the one thing that I was looking forward to wasn't even an option for me at Momentum, and that was
alone time from me.
Betty!
No,
Betty!
yeah.
Betty! I got a table!
They usually have tables where you can see the countdown
Yeah.
for how long
'Cause
speakers
we're in front
and
of the-
artists have.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how much it is, but if you go
It's $500 a minute.
So if you go over your
insane.
allotted time in singing
In
or
our
speaking,
world.
then you have to pay that amount of money. And I loved one year I sat back there and I watched and I could see the timer, and I forget who it might have been for King and Country
Or was it
that
Daigle?
went over. No,
Oh, they can.
I don't know.
afford
It was
Yeah.
just awesome to see how some artists and some speakers have it so timed out perfectly that right when it hits zero, they're done.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
Because their record
so
company's
cool.
like, I'm not paying for this.
Right.
It's like if we were
It's just
doing a
awesome.
break, and whenever this is visual, but when you look at our log during the radio show, there's timers on the things we do, and when we talk, it's called a jock talk. and it's got 2 minutes on it. And I can't imagine if we went past, if we had,
what would happen?
If we couldn't go past 2 minutes without costing WayFM money.
We run that thing. We would be broke.
What about support drive?
Yeah.
Broke as a joke. Oh, yeah.
So
Make
how are
those
they
breaks
so
2
dialed
minutes.
in?
Yeah, those breaks go up to 5.5 sometimes, man. Like, yeah, but some of the artists in the past, like the bigger artists, they kind of make a joke about it, like, it doesn't matter, and they pay it because they want the time, or they also get points in that room for being that little bit of rebellious.
It seems like Toby Mac said something to the effect of, he said something like, I could say so much more about that, but I can't afford it, or something like that. I don't know. But
which is a lie.
It was funny.
Because he could afford it. And good for him for being successful. I ran into him at the end of the day. He was like the last person I got to sign the paddle. And he, we were talking about just getting older. And I had forgotten, like, he's, I think, 60 now. And, like, wow. But he's still
got the bandana around his neck and those, like, Bositas
glasses, yes. And he's always wearing a hat. He has the same look everywhere he goes right now, which I'm not understand. Like, he's wearing the hat forever. So then you're like, are you losing your hair, bro? Because you've always had good hair. But he always has that same look on somehow, some way.
But he sports it really well.
Oh, yeah. He looks great. But then there was a guy that looked just like him. There was a guy that dressed like him every day at Momentum to the point where I had to look and see, is that him? And then there was another guy that looked like Forrest Frank. I'm like, are there people that are dressing like these people just to, like, throw us all off, you know?
Yeah.
I never got to talk to Katie Nicole. I wanted her to sign the paddle too because I like Katie Nicole. She's a guilty pleasure for me, just because, like, musically it's power ballad girl stuff.
Girl stuff. It has to be girl stuff. It's not anything that a guy could resonate with.
Megan Woods is a really big female leaning
she
song.
There, or
I think she did. Yeah,
she sang the truth.
Yeah, she was great. There were a couple really good performances.
Leanna Crawford, she was great.
She was really good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the thing. You sit
Bart
in this
Millard,
room.
We were saying about that to Wally. I said that to Wally. There was like Bart Millard and there was the Big Daddy Weave. Those two guys make singing look like it's effortless. Like they just open their mouth and it projects.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing to see how powerful their singing voices are. I mean, they don't even need a microphone.
No.
It's that good.
Yeah, like Bart, when he sings, when he goes for the big notes, he takes his mic from his mouth and he puts it down by his waist almost, and you still hear him when he's going.
So powerful. Also, too, they played a trailer for I Can Only Imagine 2.
Yeah.
And guess who did not make
that's
it
I asked them to take me out.
Save the best.
Oh, you did?
I did, yes.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about
Gus,
music
Sound Mixer
producer.
One.
Sound Mixer One, Gus.
Next February. I asked
that
Andy.
That will not be a show outing.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, show movie.
I will
yes!
I will heckle it to death.
Yes.
I will throw. Man. I will throw popcorn at the screen.
I'll dress as you for the.
Yeah, thank you. I love that, Gavin. Gavin's all in. Yeah, I had asked him to take me out of it in that room because there's so many other radio people that would be jealous, and I didn't want to cause division and dissension.
They wouldn't recognize you. You had the face.
Yeah, I know, but they still would. They'd be like, "Dadgummit, we want to be that guy." I did meet with a couple like young guys in the industry, like they were college kids, and they
for
were
radio
there.
Or movie.
Radio.
Okay.
And I was impressed. Like, I'm like, good for you. Like, they came up to me and they're like, hey, we just wanted to talk to you for a few minutes. I'm like, you're doing, like, what should we be doing? I'm like, this is it. You're doing the exact right thing. Be kind, be networking, ask questions, be inquisitive. I had even told them, I said, hey, if you want to send me air checks, I'll air check you guys, and help you out. And I'm actually gonna flip the script. They each gave me cards. Too, and I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna reach out to them and be proactive and say, "Hey, it's really good to meet you. Hope you're doing well. Hope things are gonna well for you. Had a good event. If you ever need anything, let me know." Like I think it's like Toby and me, and we get older in this business because like Toby's all about bringing up the next generation of music. Like Terrian's not even with him anymore. Terrian, the girl, is on her own, and she's fantastic. And I hope big things for her. But yeah, I want to speak back into the younger generation because there aren't enough people there's not enough places for people to learn radio anymore, and so anybody you can help out in that is a good thing. And Betty Rock, let's go to your story.
Oh, okay. Well, we can. Jelly Roll, he was not there.
Let me see you, Jelly Roll.
He was not there. He is on tour currently with Post Malone.
That feels right.
Yeah. Anyway, they have been getting some complaints from fans that are closer to the stage that they're getting burned. So, when you go to a concert, you want to be as close as you can to the stage, but you're going to be closer to the pyro. Like, I can only imagine the people that are at Skillet concerts.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're going to singe your eyebrows off. But there's one girl that was recently, she posted this to TikTok, and of course it's getting some traction. But she is doing a selfie video. Her back is to the stage, and you can see Jelly Roll up on stage, and he's singing this song. And she's singing along to it to her phone, like the selfie mode. And all of a sudden, you see something hot and bright bounce off the stage and hit her in the head.
Oh, wow.
And right when it does, you see smoke come off her hair, okay? Cool. So it's burning her hair, and she has to pat it out, the back of her head. Anyways, it shows later that she goes to the hospital, and she does have a black burn mark on her head.
Nice.
No, not nice.
That's a show. You got a story. No, you're not dead. You're not maimed in the face.
But it could have been.
Yeah, but you're not.
Had she been facing the other way, it could have been.
Yeah.
So anyways, all that to say, she's not the first one to say these things are happening. So there's been no word yet from either artist, but there should be. Or the pyro people should be looking at it and making some changes, because it's only a matter of time before you get sued for something.
It's that fine line. Some artists instantly reach out, hey, I'm so sorry, and they give them a bunch of stuff and it goes away. It's a good moment.
Right.
And then others are like, well, if you do that, it's kind of an admission of guilt, so you don't want to do that, and so.
Well, the venue did give her free merch.
See, that's it. Yeah. Here's a T-shirt.
It's expensive these days.
Here's a Pepsi.
Yeah, but she had to probably pay for a medical bill that's astronomical.
Oh yeah, if you get hurt at a concert like that and it came off the stage and got you, there should be some sort of consideration that you can
if
be
you were at
recovered.
A Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber concert and you got nailed in the head by a pyro firework.
Yeah.
You would do something.
Yeah, I me personally would not, but I see why
you wouldn't want
people
to know what concert you were at.
Exactly.
I wouldn't want to pay my bill.
No, if it's one of those things, I went to the hospital and it burned my scalp like a sunburn, and I'm going to be fine. In a couple of days, I wouldn't say anything about it. I'd post about it and hopefully get something for free. But I'd never sue or anything. But if you went to a concert and say it got you in the eye, and you're hurt and you're gonna have to do rehab or something, I could see wanting to be compensated for that for sure.
Yeah, but I do think that it would be nice of either of the singers to reach out and say, I'll pay your medical bill or something.
I showed Gavin a thing a while ago. Maybe you might have seen it too, of Paul Stanley from Kiss on stage, and a pyrotechnic goes off, sets his whole hair on fire. His head is on fire. And the guitar player walks by and tries to pat it out, doesn't. He motions to a roadie. Roadie comes out. Paul Stanley is still singing, still playing guitar, hasn't missed a note on either, singing or stuff. They're patting his head out and putting his head out as he is singing, and then he just kept going. That is rock and roll, my friends. That is how you do it. So if you could take one little ember from the crowd, you're lucky. You're part of the rock scene. You've been initiated. You're in. So all right. You got any birthdays? I think that's gonna have to do it.
I do. I have birthdays, but first I would like to address a little something. Wally got an email from someone named Elias saying that I talked about a birthday shout out that was from last year.
I had two of those.
Yeah. So here's what is happening.
What's happening?
I will explain it.
Thank you.
So if you have not sent out a birthday shout out, haven't filled out the form, haven't sent it out by 10 a.m. Central Time, there's a good day of the birthday. There's a good chance if you send it later than that, I'm going to not read it, and I'll wait till next year to do it, because I'm already looking forward to the next date. I'm not even looking to the past.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So once I get to that date again, the next year, I I have no way of knowing whether or not that was sent in the year before or the year of.
Got it.
So it's not timestamped.
If you're not having it sent in by 10 a.m. Central Time the day of, then there's a good chance it's going to be said the next year.
Because that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, I figured these as they came into the back end of the system, I figured they would be dated, but they're not dated then. So you have no way of knowing.
No, I have no idea.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a field we could put in there or something too. So anyway, okay, well that's good.
But I do have one question, or I have one birthday. Randy.
Is it from this year?
I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
We're on a roll.
I don't know.
This thing will say.
Yeah. Randy wants to wish his fourth daughter, Tegan or Tegan. I'm thinking Tegan. Tegan, a happy birthday. Said she's turning 8. Fiery redhead, fearless, loving sister to her 4 older sisters and 1 younger brother. Loves Jesus, animals, basketball, Roblox. And staying up late watching movies. Happy birthday.
Well, there you go. Happy birthday, Tegan.
Say you all are in gym class and each of you have to take turns picking each other for whatever game you are playing that day. Who do you pick last out of the other 2 and why?
Depends on the game.
Okay, let's say dodgeball.
Dodgeball? I'm going to pick you last because your upper body strength and the ability to, 2 things. 1, you're not going to throw the ball very hard. And 2, I can't hide behind you very well.
Well,
I'm going with you, sir.
But there's that, but she's also, and is taking myself out, she's a harder target to hit.
Yeah,
I'm an easier target to hit.
Yeah, but I think you're going to do some damage.
I will throw a fastball.
Yeah, you got some sports in you. So I would take you for dodgeball, yeah.
If I were picking, I would choose Gavin last because Wally would do all the work and let all the competition go to his head, and he can just do all the work for me, and I'll just sit in the back.
The other part of that, too, is I'm going to talk smack, so everyone's going to be aiming for me. They're not even going to notice anyone else is on the court. It doesn't matter what we do, whether I'm playing cards, a game with my family, a game with friends. It does not matter. Every single person, when I'm at a table playing games, like gangs up against me.
It doesn't even matter if it's a game. You'll turn anything into a competition.
Yeah, but everyone turns against me, and I don't know why. I still don't know why.
Well, because you're cocky.
Maybe.
I think with athletic stuff, when I enter into the pavilion, I'm like, okay, back into being an athlete. We're going to do this. But then when I do it, my body does not keep up. Like I remember it keeping up when I was 15 years old. And that's why I want to get in shape, is because I don't want to be. Yeah. I want to cross up my kid. And
Gavin's like, I would pick myself last. If I'm being honest.
Nowadays, man, like I was so athletic back in the day. 4 or 5, 6, dude. It's a very big parameter.
Well, you're about to finish your 75 hard coming up and then throw it all away in one day.
I know.
Let's write that down and we'll save that for a conversation tomorrow because we're running out of time. But congratulations.
I have more that I want to talk about.
We can't today because we have a meeting.
I got to go to the bathroom. Come on.
So a meeting that you don't want to go to and a
bathroom
break.
that he has to go to.
I've got a meeting that needs to happen.
That's what takes over my
that's
story.
Save it for tomorrow.
No, I don't really have a story.
I knew that. See? There you go. All right, that's going to do it for your Aftercast. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children. But with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.